Awesomenauts is a 2D action RTS or MOBA. Nobody seems to be absolutely sure what the correct term is for these kinds of games. If I can take a guess, this game leans more towards the MOBA side of the argument, since there's no real-time strategy gameplay involved, unlike League of Legends. Or maybe we should call it Dota-esque. Anyway, who cares what it's called, let's move on. Awesomenauts is developed by MinishGaming. These guys made Swords and Soldiers, which was a pretty interesting take on the RTS genre. But is this game really as awesome as it claims to be? Let's find out. In the year 3587, huge robot armies are fighting over a resource called solar. But since neither side seems to be able to win, they call upon a powerful group of mercenaries called Awesomenauts, a pretty pretentious name to go by. These Awesomenauts come in all shapes and sizes. Just to give you an idea, you've got a frog that wants to be a gangster, a monkey with a jetpack, a space Viking, an alien dog hybrid, and my personal favorite, a chameleon named Leon, who speaks with a heavy French accent. It's nice to see a game in this genre that doesn't take itself too serious. In total, there are about 12 Awesomenauts, with new characters being added over time. At the start of a match, you'll get to choose your Awesomenaut. Unlike similar games, you can pick whatever you want. There are characters that are better at healing or tanking, but you don't need any specific role. Prefer playing the French chameleon? Well, go ahead and pick him then. Each character has a basic attack and 2 special skills. You can also buy new skins for your characters, but it's completely optional. Next, you'll get to pick your items. You pick 3 items for each of your attacks and another 3 for utility. Most of these are character specific and can drastically change the way your skills work. So you're forced to determine your playstyle up front. Although there are loads of options, there really isn't any wrong choice. If you don't pick damage, you might get slow instead, or some lifesteal. Again, pick what you want. After that, you'll get thrown into one of the 4 maps where you'll fight a 3 vs 3 battle. If you've ever played a MOBA, you already know the basics. Try to farm as much as you can, kill enemies, push your lane so you can destroy turrets, and eventually destroy the enemy core. After a match you'll get experience, which unlocks new characters and items. There's quite a bit of skill involved when you start getting more serious though. The gameplay is pretty fast paced and dodging is essential to winning. Platforming is also a big part of the game, so I guess that makes this game a platformer MOBA hybrid. Several maps also have environmental hazards, with the Dune style worm being my favorite one. It's very rewarding if you're able to one-shot an enemy with it. In comparison to other MOBA games though, Awesomenauts offers a simplified experience, which makes it a good game for people who are trying to get into the genre or who just want a more laid-back experience. My favorite feature is the ability to join mid-game. Unlike League of Legends, where people rage quit and you're practically doomed since nobody can replace them. If a player quits in Awesomenauts, they get replaced by a bot. The AI controlling the bot is horrible though, pretty much starts feeding the enemy team. However, as soon as someone else joins, the bots get replaced and a new player gets extra solar so they aren't disadvantaged. When you queue up to join a game, you won't be able to choose between a new match or one that's in progress though, and it's not always fun when you're dropped into a game on the side of the losing team. Another something you have to take into account is that there are no dedicated servers. Everything is done via matchmaking. There's always one player who hosts the game, and this can cause some connection issues when you get hosts that don't feel like switching their torrents off. You can also choose to play split screen with 2 people, one using a controller and the other using the mouse and keyboard. Although it seems like a good idea, players with a controller will not be able to aim as well as a player with a mouse, so they'll be at a disadvantage. Audio-visually, the game looks and sounds great. The bright cartoon style fits the game perfectly, and the songs and voice acting are all very good quality. Awesomenauts is a fun game to play if you're into the MOBA genre. Unlike its bigger counterparts, it's more laid back and the community is usually a lot friendlier. The ability to replace a player who left is something that should be implemented in every other similar game. On the flip side, I've frequently experienced lag due to the lack of dedicated servers. Also, not every character is quite as balanced. A few extra maps would be a welcome addition as well. Overall, it's a fun game to waste a few hours on, and it's certainly worth its price, so I guess we can conclude that Awesomenauts is indeed pretty awesome. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Have a nice day, and I'll see you again on Sunday with a new review.